What if the person sitting next to you harbors chilling and sinister interests? Let's dive into the disturbing world of psychopaths, exploring 10 unusual and sometimes shocking hobbies that reveal the darkest corners of their minds. Surveillance, a seemingly innocuous activity in our increasingly digital world, takes on a much darker tone when practiced by a psychopath. Psychopaths derive a perverse thrill from watching others without their knowledge. The act of surveillance feeds into their need for dominance and control. By secretly monitoring their victims, they gather personal information and observe behaviors, gaining insights that can be used to manipulate and intimidate. This hidden power dynamic allows them to feel superior and invulnerable. For psychopaths, setting fires is not just about watching something burn. It is about the thrill and power of destruction. The act of igniting a fire provides a sense of control and supremacy over the devastating force they unleash. Watching the flames consume their target can elicit feelings of satisfaction and euphoria as the psychopath witnesses the chaos and destruction they have orchestrated. Fire, with its unpredictable and uncontrollable nature, becomes a tool for psychopaths to express their inner turmoil and aggression. In the unsettling world of psychopathic hobbies, writing anonymous threats stands out as a particularly chilling activity. For psychopaths, the act of writing anonymous threats is about wielding power through fear. These threats can take many forms, from ominous letters and emails to threatening social media messages and phone calls. The anonymity allows psychopaths to terrorize their targets without revealing their identity, creating a pervasive sense of dread and helplessness. They meticulously choose their words to maximize impact, knowing exactly how to exploit their victims' fears and insecurities. Psychopaths are naturally drawn to the study of criminal psychology because it provides them with a framework to understand and perhaps justify their own behaviors. By analyzing the motives and methods of criminals, they gain insights into their own psyche and learn techniques to refine their manipulative and antisocial behaviors. This interest often blurs the line between education and a twisted form of admiration for the criminals they study. There are documented cases where individuals with psychopathic traits have used their knowledge of criminal psychology to commit crimes. For example, some serial killers have studied forensic science and criminal behavior to better evade law enforcement and prolong their criminal activities. For psychopaths, photographing roadkill is more than a morbid curiosity. It's an obsession with death and decay. The act of documenting dead animals allows them to explore themes of mortality in a way that is both detached and clinical. This fascination can reflect a deeper, underlying interest in the macabre aspects of life. The photographs are not just casual snapshots, they are carefully composed to capture the most graphic and disturbing details. For psychopaths, secretly drugging others offers a sense of power and control that is unparalleled. This act allows them to manipulate and dominate their victims in the most intimate way possible. The victim, often unaware of the drugging, becomes vulnerable and dependent. Numerous real-world cases highlight the dangers of this practice. Serial rapists and murderers like Jeffrey Dahmer and the more recent case of Bill Cosby used drugs to incapacitate their victims, making them easier to control and abuse. The true crime genre has captivated the interest of many, but for psychopaths, an obsession with serial killers goes far beyond casual fascination. This dark hobby involves an intense focus on the lives, methods, and motivations of the most notorious killers in history. It's not just about understanding their actions, but often about finding a perverse sense of connection. These criminals represent the ultimate rebellion against societal norms and the exercise of extreme power and control. They may see traits in these criminals that mirror their own desires and behaviors, fueling their fascination. For psychopaths, building torture devices is about more than just creating a tool. It's about creating a means to exert ultimate control and dominance over another being. The meticulous planning and execution involved in designing these devices offer a sense of power and mastery over the suffering they can cause. This hobby provides psychopaths with a perverse satisfaction, knowing they have created something capable of inflicting immense pain. Serial killers like the more recent case of David Parker Ray illustrate how these devices can be used to horrific effect. Ray, for instance, constructed a soundproof trailer filled with torture instruments, which he used on his victims while recording the acts for his own gratification. For most people, gambling can be an occasional thrill, but for psychopaths, it becomes an obsession driven by their need for risk, control, and the adrenaline rush that comes from living on the edge. The higher the stakes, the greater the thrill. This need for intense stimulation often leads them to environments where the potential for significant loss or gain is enormous. Unlike the average person who might be cautious about losing money, psychopaths are attracted to the sheer uncertainty and danger of the gamble. For psychopaths, the appeal of cults and religious extremism lies in the absolute control and unwavering devotion that cult leaders and extremist figures command over their followers. This form of power is seductive for psychopaths who are inherently drawn to manipulating and dominating others. By studying these groups, they gain insights into the psychological tactics used to exert such control. One example of such psychopaths is Charles Manson, who studied various religious texts and philosophies, using his knowledge to establish the Manson family and exert control over his followers, leading to horrific crimes. Now, what unusual interests have you discovered that made you suspicious of a person? Share your experience in the comments below. Hit subscribe, join our community, and together, let's illuminate the world with the brilliance of understanding. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.